Hello everyone and welcome back to Game 3 here tonight. After a banger Game 2, we have a Game 3 here on our hands. Mingos currently 2-0 up in the series, of course, against Capedogs. And with that, they have decided to enact Mingo. Make a Mingo is the official pending name. They are subbing in a mid lane fan to play in the place of their starting mid laner for this Game 3 here tonight. That is actually happening. We are actually having a Make a Mingo live on stream.
Yeah, I mean, they thought they were going to bring out last week. Didn't have the opportunity as they did end up actually losing Game 1, much to their surprise. So here it is. They brought him back on stream just so they'd have a chance. Make a Mingo is ready here in Game 3. Swapping out their mid laners. So I mean, Nick Swantek was critical in Games 1 and 2 on his Morgana.
He really
25
was.
stack Medjai's Game 1. Insanely well played Game 2 with those black shields. And he won't be available for this Game 3, so we'll have to see what this new mystery Mingo can bring to the table.
Yes, the mystery Mingo to join the Ming guys in Ming Girls. I was told to say we are hoping to bring joy and an exciting opportunity to all the Min guys and Min Girls out there. So that is we are making Mingo here to this Game 3 with a Lee Sin B1. We were promised a Lee Sin B1 here as well from the Mingos.
Before I give any draft analysis,
Okay.
I also want to say they failed their branding. It should be Mingals. That just rolls off the tongue so much better. That's all I'm saying. Mingals and Ming guys.
Read what I'm
that
told
way
to read,
you got
man.
like the four letters at the end of the Ming. It's perfect. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, all right. Elisa and Lockton and Tryndamere here being hovered by the Capers.
Okay.
But Kha'Zix. I was gonna say Tryndamere mid, not a bad pick, and it's actually being played by across multiple servers challenger ladders.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like how you said I'm gonna hold off on analysis, and then I really wanted to respond with what you don't want analysis. R1 Tryndamere? What? That's not something you want to do. I mean, Kha'Zix is much better.
R1 Tryndamere!
It is gonna be an R1 Tryndamere. So again, if you thought Game 2 was exciting, where are you at for Game 3?
So the real question here is a little unknown fact about Tryndamere.
Okay.
Never level your ultimate, except for the first time. So you level it at 6. Don't get it at level 11 and 16 because it's almost useless. You actually should just be spam leveling your heal and your dash as much as possible and get those max earlier than your ult. They matter much more, and then you actually max W before you finish maxing your ultimate ability. It's just worth so much more on Tryndamere. It's like the only champion I think in the game where that's honestly viable, other than Udyr. All right, the exception to every rule. But either way, I'm curious to see if Capedogs, who are going to be piloting this Tryndamere, knows that you're not supposed to level your ultimate past 6.
Yeah, maybe not. Again, this is a flex pick. It is not just 100% top lane champion anymore. Like you were saying, it is commonly being played in the mid lane as well, but that is much more solo queue style. It is not so much competitive style, but I don't think I can really say that because we have a Poppy and a Varus and a Lee Sin from Mingos and then a Thresh, which is an actual competitive champion, thank goodness.
I mean, the Poppy recently got buffed, so her shield, I believe, is on a much lower cooldown right now, so she has some more sustain and is able to actually trade out a little bit better in lane. That is, of course, assuming it's Poppy in lane. I really have no idea at this point. I don't understand anything anymore. But against Kha'Zix, Tryndamere, and Thresh, you actually have a lot of options to block with those dashes on her W.
Yeah, you can block the Kha'Zix, you can block the Thresh hook in as well. The second half of the Q, not the first half. You can't just straight up block it. It's not a win wall, but you can block him dashing into you as we have a Zillion and a Lux ban. I assume that these are mains of the new mid laner that Mingos are bringing in here for the Game 3 as not something I have ever seen banned against the Mingos.
You know what? That's some cruelty, honestly. Look, Mingos are doing charity work out here, and you spend your last 2 bans on the enemy mid laner. It's just cruel. I totally get it from Capedogs, though. I mean, you're coming into Game 3, you know you need this win. Play your hearts out, even if Mingos are doing anything wacky. Like, you're just here to play. You're not here to play the Mingos game. You're here to play the Capers game. And so I want to see Capedogs still bring the heat. They're locking in Tom Kench, and that's a lot of AD on this team, so I'm looking now for, I believe, an AP bot. So we'll either see like a Ziggs or a Cassiopeia coming out. Maybe even Heimerdinger.
Maybe Heimerdinger. Syndra is on the table as well. Another one of those classic APCs. Annie and Malzahar, champions that I have also seen played in the bot lane. But yeah, Capedogs, they need an AP champion. Like, you gotta build an AP champion right now. Poppy, she's building 5 armor items. You're never killing her right now. You gotta have something to be able to pop her. As you do have that Seraphine Senna locked in here. Most likely that Seraphine mid lane that we did see in game 1 from Capedogs. Now going to be played by the Mingos against their own mid laner that does play the champion in Senna and Varus. Very strong duo bot lane.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I think there is still a chance you see Senna mid, but Seraphine's the likely choice here. Would be strong into the tournament as well, just able to kind of survive in the lane. But here it is. It's a full 80 composition locked in. I'm now looking at Poppy to be the pop-off champion here in this game, as well as Lisa, who are just going to be able to atomize full armor against this entirely AD squad.
Yeah, and that I have to say, sometimes like when you build full AD, because that limits options on support builds heavily. You can't build Crucible. Look how many good Crucible targets there are on Capedogs. Guess what? Building Crucible in this game, super troll. You do not need MR. You can't build Abyssal Mask, something that is very strong on a lot of tanks right now, especially for supports. There is no support tank in this game other than Thresh. He's probably not building it either. So again, Abyssal Mask, very limited. It just takes away a lot of these MR options, but again, on the flip side of that, it just makes all the armor options way better than they already were.
Yeah, I mean, you got, like, I feel like it's been an eternity in League where MR itemization has always been lacking compared to armor itemization. There's so many things you can do with armor items that you just can't quite build with MR items. So I'm sure Glacial Mingos are happy to be playing into a full AD composition. At least the Poppy and the Lisa and should have a field day with that. But I'm also expecting to see 5 Ninja Taves built. You know, the usual traditional things. Zanya's on the mid laner first item. Zanya's potentially on AD carry. I mean, like, there's a lot of things you can do to really disrupt the ability of Capedogs to play with this full AD comp.
Yeah, full AD comp. Maybe it is a little bit on the troll side, but then again, so is Lee Sin B1. Lee Sin, I don't believe is a B1 champion anymore, as his flex potential was basically completely removed. I don't think you can play Lee Sin lane anymore, and if you do, he's just not gonna have the same push pressure that he used to, which is the main reason I do believe that people used to pick him. So B1ing Lee Sin when you know he's going to be jungle is just so much weaker than when he could have been a triple flex. I
mean, because he Poppy jungle, it's not, I wouldn't call it an S tier pick, and it will be better because of the shield buffs, but I will not say that it's going to be a better jungler than Lee Sin, so I'm definitely expecting to see that. Week 1, we had insane plays from CBR Acid, who was able to constantly invade on the Kha'Zix, create insane advantages for his team, and honestly, with the leads he was able to create, there is almost no way that even a full AD composition would have been slowed down. Like, he was just completely popping off on the champion. So if Zonk can find similar success here with a very different pick than the J4, you could easily see this game being over before they're even able to stack armor.
Yeah. And Acid versus Zongi Kha'Zix matchup was something that we actually talked a lot about last season in mid-league when these two junglers went against each other. Kha'Zix was a very contested pick, both of them mostly maining it, Acid more so one-tricking it, but still very strong champion for both of these players here. I am excited to see, maybe it is much more of a comfort pick that we have let on.
And in truth, the style of Kha'Zix he's going to have to play this game is going to be like a W evolution super early, because jumping into this Poppy is just not going to be an option. Jumping into Seraphine Varus, not really an option. Jumping to Lee Sin, he just kicks you away. Like, there's so many tools to deal with the Kha'Zix here that I'm never thrilled to see Kha'Zix picked up in the first rotation of a draft. But either way, there's still options for him to pop off, and it can be just that champion that just goes insanely hard if there isn't enough disruption dropped on top of Zongi. And with I don't know, I'm not ranting about it, but like 2 enchanters, Chains of Corruption from Varus, Poppy W, there's just a lot of options, and it's gonna be very hard for Zongi to try and find a pop-off Alex H style team fight with jump resets.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the champ selected client now. There's no weird swaps other than the Lee Sin going top lane, potentially here for Mingos. I'm not sure if that's 100% locked in yet or not, but still, Poppy jungle, I do believe is very strong, especially locked into a Kha'Zix. I'm just not entirely so sure about Lee Sin laning anymore, especially against the top Kench. I think that lane is pretty TK favored, but still not 100% sure. They could honestly roll swap, and I have no idea.
Claudzilla, the newcomer for the Mingos, the Mako Mingo. I'll have to see if Capedogs can give him a warm welcome. I mean, in my mind, if you see a substitute mid laner brought in Game 3, you abuse that hard. I would have been expecting to see Zhongyi just be constantly mid on top of the Seraphine. As early game, she does not have the options she would like, especially if she's not grouped up with their team, to deal with this Kha'Zix from just blowing her up.
Yeah, and with that, we will be going to a short spectator delay here. Once again, Mingos currently 2-0 up in this series. Now third game here. Capedogs looking to go 2-1 tonight. Don't want to go 0-3, falling very heavily in the standings if they do. But don't go anywhere. We will be right back with hopefully a very exciting Game 3. Welcome back, everyone, to the Game 3 tonight of the show match of Week 6 Excellency Mid-League. Once again, we have Capedogs taking red side, currently 0-2 to Glacial Mingos on the blue side. I am Camcom, joined by Sopen for your last game here tonight.
Analysis is out the window this game. We got some wacky stuff already going on. It was hard enough last game, but here we got Dark Harvest Poppy in the jungle. I was expecting either Predator or Aftershock. I got neither. And instead, we're just left with a very strange jungler pick. And actually, I'm just now noticing there's lane swaps everywhere. So TJ Lanier, normally top laner, is in jungle. Chandler Clark, normally AD carry, is top. Gabe, Gabe is normally support, and he's playing AD carry on the Varus, but he might be playing with a fasting Senna, so it might matter less. And I'm not sure who the Senna player was because I didn't get a chance to read their name, but we'll see in just a second. Adam Suki, so everywhere there's just lane swaps, and we'll have to see how the jungler plays in bot, how the support plays as AD, and how the... I don't know what's happening, man. I'm already completely lost.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm here to have a good time, like you're saying. Chandler Clark, he was the mid laner. As we have another pause, I think he is unfortunately disconnecting there. This is just what happens in Game 3. Welcome to mid league. Someone has got to disconnect at least once, whether it's me or whether it's a player.
I mean, the one thing we have going for us this game is there isn't a Narbar to deplete alongside your internet connection. So hopefully we'll see some normal stuff happen as Demon Prince and Chandler Clark not betraying each other just yet. And it's actually not going to happen. Friendly banter happening up here in top lane as they just spam taunt on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a dance party, right? We saw it in Game 1. I'm not sure if we saw it in Game 2, but Game 3. Yeah, I appreciate a dance party. I always do.
Was indeed the mid lane Tryndamere as he's already looking to get some quick cheeky crits onto Claude. Watch that VAR is level 1. If somebody can find the stacks and find that dash, he can be one of the most deadly. He can luck into being one of the most deadly laners level 1.
Yeah, that is the Tryndamere 1v1 that you sometimes get to see, right? It's just, do you crit or do you not crit? And that can sometimes very well just decide your lane, is whether you crit or not, right? So that's usually why Tryndamere is not really picked outside of solo queue, because he is that classic coin flip potential champion, as Q just about goes wide there. Gabe living with just 1 HP, meanwhile the Thresh, one more auto, but unfortunately just not quite enough damage coming out from the Capedogs bot lane.
And you're looking at the unstandard bot lane quickly losing favor here as Varus set a force underneath tower. Do have some sustain with those Senna heals, but we'll see what they can do to make the comeback happen. I will say one thing for this top lane. Demon Prince obviously has the advantage here. He's playing Tom Kench. It's a disgusting, horrible frog up there in top, but he's playing into a jungler who's playing one of the classic jungling champions. So I don't think Chandler Clark will be unfamiliar with how this should work, but Thresh getting dropped very low.
It is gonna be first blood for Confounder there. The final Q just about doing enough damage to find the first blood there onto Adam. Unfortunately, just not quite enough damage for him yet, but you do see that he does have a long sword coming back from that back now.
Yeah, I'll be happy about that one. I mean, just one more item on the docket. Gabe getting hooked on, and these are great hooks from Nonce.
These are really nice hooks from the Thresh, but it doesn't even matter. The flash from Gabe doesn't even need the man to find himself, in the end, a 1-for-1.
I put himself in a little bit of danger there. I mean, I respect the look. Just constantly trying to get into the tower. Trying to find those skill shots onto this, no mobility Varus, as he has just not burned his flash. But here's a flash roar from Adam Suki. He wants to find the kill.
Flash from Adam as well, Confounder. No mana remaining on the Ezreal, but doesn't even matter. Zongi arrives in the lane to find himself another kill as well. Meanwhile, on the top side, Q does land onto Demon, but going to go in as well. But Chandler, he goes in. He has the Lee Sin Syndrome, forced to flash out.
Oh, but here comes the dive. He's got him low enough. There's another shield from Tom Kench. Not gonna be enough.
They still found it. Okay. I didn't even see the last tower shot, honestly. But still, 1-for-1 in favor of Demon, I would definitely say.
Yeah, I mean, happy to pick it up underneath the tower. Both top laners got teleports. No one should be missing out on too much CS. But with that shove-in, could be a walk to lane from Chandler, and then utilizing that TP instead for an early dragon skirmish or something similar.
Yeah, we have seen actually a lot of early dragons here. I think every single dragon so far in this series has been taken before the 6-minute mark. So within 60 seconds of spawning, I'm pretty sure all two, or I guess the 2 early dragons, the first dragons so far, have been taken very quickly. I can't expect this in this game 3 here. I don't know what to expect in this game 3, but if there was anything, it would be an early first dragon. As you see Zongi, he's pathing down. He has the bot lane pressure for the TJ. He's roaming around in the enemy jungle, could potentially look for a steal.
He might end up biting off more than he could chew. Is just kind of in the wrong position here on Poppy. Gonna try and get away, but he's gonna have to walk through a Tryndamere, so we'll see what he can do.
He's gonna have to walk through it, but then he just gets, once again, excellent hook there from the Thresh. another kill going into Capedogs' pockets.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, wanted to look for an invade towards some kind of camp, and unfortunately, it's just Zongi looking for the dragon. Kha'Zix's so good at taking early drakes with those isolated Qs, just constantly proccing on top of any neutral monsters that are solo. So he can quickly pick this one up. Thrash rotating down to tank up some of the damage, as well as Yeeloof's looking for a solo kill.
Oh, taken real low. Flash from Yeetloof as well, just about able to find that kill for himself. Meanwhile, of course, it is the first dragon fight. Everyone's level 3, everyone's level 4. We don't even have any summoners left on the map, but it is going to be Mingos taking that first ocean dragon for themselves, and the bot lane of Capedogs might be falling here as well.
Absolutely ridiculous already. TJ Linear is looking for a deep invade off the back of this dragon take. Not sure if it's the fight he wants. I mean, he's not insanely strong on this popular thing. He only picked up Lucidity Boots. So while he can clear quicker, he's not going to be hitting any harder against his Kha'Zix in a 1v1.
Yeah, he's really not. I mean, Kha'Zix, really both of the junglers, I would say, are playing mainly for that level 6 power spike. They are both very reliant on their ultimates to find pressure in these ganks, says Chandler. I'm pretty sure he's going to go in off of every single Q no matter what this game. I don't have a doubt about that, really. I just have a doubt about whether it's going to work out for him every single time.
Yeah, and especially against a Tahm Kench here. I mean, you can trade on in, but you already see how much health he healed back just with the gray health there. As Varus Senna actually putting in some work here in the bottom lane, as Gabe and Adam managed to get the shove in on top of finding poke underneath the tower. So they could just now look to constantly clear out waves and do what they did, what the Mingos bot lane did in game 1, where they're just constantly picking up tower plates and looking for a gold advantage that way.
Yeah, once again, I mean, it becomes a battle of the 80 carries for these early game gold, right? And I mean, this is the first game that we've really seen early kills in this bot lane. It's always been through minion control as well as taking plates, as you see Chandler Clark once again top in these damage charts, are gold graphs even, and it doesn't even matter where he is on the map, he'll always be up there.
Chandler Clark in top lane, topping the charts currently here as the 80 carry for Glacial Mingos. DJ Lanier, some people might say he's the best top laner in mid league. I'm not even sure if he's the best top laner on Mingos.
All right, you can tell him, man. I don't know. Top laners, I gotta say, best top laner league. I gotta give it to Animal. I don't think that's a contest right there. As you see, TJ could look for a gank here in the mid lane. Yeetloof does have that ultimate available if he wants to burn it. Claude did just burn his own ultimate though, so now TJ is trying to find enough CC to try and keep Yeetloof in the fight, but not quite long enough. Heal from the ultimate will just about allow him to escape.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds of invulnerability on that sliver of HP, gonna be just enough to avoid the lockdown. There was a slight miss combo in crowd control that I think could have allowed them to lock him down. I believe TJ Lanier popped that Poppy W just a little bit too early to prevent the dash. You saw him able to get over that wall as a result, ultimately leading into the Tryndamere escape. And now here's the counter gank.
There's the counter gank. Claude once again does not have ultimate available. Zong picking up that nice, easy in and out kill for himself.
I mean, I mentioned in Champ Select that would be surprised to see Kha'Zix trying to abuse this mid laner. No dashes, no ability to get out, and extremely squishy here on the Seraphine. So RE2 deaths as a result of jungle ganks. We'll see if they can continue that. As TJ Linear's just looking for the solo kill under tower against King Yeetloof, but it's Tryndamere. He's just going to walk out of this one.
Yeah, he doesn't even need ult to be able to walk it out, right? Like, he's got the fully stacked rage. He has the ghost available as well. If he does want to pop it, it is still available as one more auto almost took him down there, but just not even popping the ghost, by the way. Meanwhile, bot lane, Adam picking up a kill onto Confounder as well as Nuts.
Yeah, TJ, your mastery level 6 is showing there. Slightly missing the Q. Would have been enough damage on that Tryndamere to pick it up with that last auto attack, but again, just barely escaping. It's what Tryndamere does best. So there's a fight in the top lane. Chandler Clark might just go down instantly.
Yeah, he might. He uses that kick, trying to buy a little bit of time here for himself to heal up some fancy feet on the Lee Sin right there. Just actually will be able to let him walk that one out.
And already you do see he's picked up the Ninja Tabbies here on the Lee Sin, so able to prevent some of those auto attack damage. But honestly, when you're playing to Tahm Kench, nothing else really matters. He'll just win in a war of attrition, basically no matter what. And even if you go for a quick trade, he'll just heal that back up either way. So there's no winning against the Frog in top lane unless you get some jungle help. And right now, don't think, even in a 1 versus 2, these two could take down the Kench.
Yeah, it is going to be very hard to try and take down Demon, as you do see these Ninja Tabbies are starting to be built by both teams, really, especially by these top laners, right? It's just, these are going to be the boots of choice, probably by all the members other than those that do build Lucidities, as those are just the best boots in the game right now. That's a very cute recall. I gotta say, that's a very cute one.
We didn't even get the full timer there either. Is currently being set up. I have a lantern for vision from Nase to make sure they can get some more poke. Unfortunately, missing that from co-founder, but they will start up this dragon, and with the enhanced Qs from Zong, this will go down quick.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the first dragon here for Capedogs. I immediately regret saying that, as I almost always cast a curse it when I do, but it will actually be smited away by Zongi. Now, 1-to-1 in dragons. There was a kill in the mid lane there. Claudzilla, unfortunately, will be falling as well.
That's gotta be tough. I mean, you're just flying on through, picking up the kill to the tower, ulting to survive the damage from the tower itself, and then getting lanterned out by the Thresh. Textbook play, Tryndamere style. I mean, normally you see these kind of go 1-for-1 in top lane, but because his team's on Dragon there, they're able to rotate on over and provide the assistance they need to help Tryndamere's escapes that just become that much stronger.
Yeah, once Tryndamere does hit level 11, we will see if he knows about your secret ult trick that you were talking about in Champion Select. But Zongi flashing in for this gank here onto Chandler. He already used his flash, already used that ultimate. He's just going to be falling. Another kill fallen over to Demon, who did have to commit his own flash for it, though, as TJ is here for the counter engage. Unfortunately, just a little bit too late.
Yeah, so normally, when I see Poppy jungle into Kha'Zix jungle, I'm thinking Poppy is the champion that could survive easily against the burst and then look to try and even turn the fight around. But he's got a Sheen and Lucidity boots. These isolated Qs will hit hard onto TJ Lanier, and he's not really building any tanky stats at all. So don't expect this Poppy to win any duels against the Kha'Zix. You're going to look for maybe teamfight disruption to be able to take him down, comboing with your team's damage, as well as stacking CC in order to pick up the bug, shut down gold.
Yeah, you do need to get shutdown gold from the Kha'Zix, right? But first, he has to have a shutdown on his head with the excellent program.
It just disappeared.
He doesn't even have a shutdown. Yeah,
No. I
gotta say.
Literally, someone clipped that 15 seconds ago. He had a shutdown on him.
He's got to have a shutdown for you to be able to take one, and apparently he's not deserving of one, despite out CSing TJ pretty well so far and being 2-0-2, which, I mean, I would say definitely deserves a shutdown.
We just got word from our producer as well that King Eatloaf has not leveled R, so he's doing the proper thing here on Tryndamere mid, just leveling the dash, looking for the kills, and looking for the sustain to be able to get through this lane against Seraphine.
That is nice to see, and you do also see Yeetloaf built that Gore Drinker first very early on into this game. I do believe that was the first mythic. I'm not sure if it was before Confounder, but if it was, that was the first mythic on this mid lane. Tryndamere, very strong pick and solo queue, and now being made a name for himself here in mid league as well.
Spawning out the Kha'Zix, but not willing to overcommit into the jungle, as they know that this guy could pretty much 2-3 shot anyone's health bar, and they gotta be careful getting anywhere near him, as not even a mythic completed, he's still extremely powerful. I mean, with Lucidity boost as well as the cooldown, oh my god. He just tanks the tower.
The Seraphine ultimate just does literally nothing to him, as now they have finally sent 3 members of the Mingos trying to shut him down here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, 3 members of the Capedogs being shown in the bot lane here, finding themselves a shutdown onto both the members of the Mingos bot lane, and Yeetloaf finding the same fate for himself in the mid.
Yeah, unable to trade out there. He managed to hit one auto onto the Poppy, TJ Lanier there, and I thought he was just going to commit for the kill there, but instead of dashing, trying to find Claudzilla on the backline. I feel like, honestly, if he had just turned on TJ Lanier, he had a chance of taking him down. Again, no tank stats picked up here, and with a few crits, he could have easily just bodied that Poppy, who had no more cooldowns left to try and get away.
Yeah, no more cooldowns, and that is kind of the name of that champion, right? Is she doesn't really do damage. She's there to stop all of these very important dashes. She's got 3 that she is able to stop. I don't think she could stop Tahm Kench, E, or Ezreal. I'm pretty sure those are not considered able to be stopped by her. But still, you got 3 important ones that you are able to stop, and once that ability is popped, they can go in, and they're probably going to kill you very quickly unless you do start building armor, which I think that is what she's building.
I'm looking at the gold right now. We got 2 towers to 1. Glacial Mingos currently only 800 gold down. They're fairly easily, I mean, it's been back and forth, right? But they fairly easily could nullify this by just picking up a tower or 2 of their own. It's not unreachable by any means just yet, and I'm expecting a very hotly contested dragon coming up here in 30 seconds. And they're Clark.
Yeah, just 20 more seconds left to that next dragon, right? But Chandler up here in the top lane thought it was a 1v1, but now TJ roaming up here as well. Demon still is very unkillable on this Tom Kench, though, and dragon spawning in just 10 seconds. You showed your jungler up top side. Now it could very well just be this free second dragon for the side of Capedogs. But unfortunately, Zongi, he just has to walk back for base quick enough to be able to find it, as Yeetloaf trying to find the sinking share to game both the TPs being channeled in by these top laners. He finally finds it on the bot lane, but he is all alone, flashing the Seraphine ultimate. One more auto, finds himself the kill, only to be killed right after. Chandler TP's in behind. He looks for the Q. He does not have the Q on 2 knots, but doesn't even matter with the ward hop. Gonna be popped instantly. Meanwhile, Dragon being secured by Capedogs and Knots. He's trying to run away, but unfortunately, he's just not fast enough.
Yeah, honestly, really well played there by Yeetloaf. He was playing the vision game in that bush, just waiting for Gabe and Adam Suki to step barely too far. Managed to get himself in melee range at some point, and in the end is able to take down at least 1 while burning so many cooldowns here from the Mingos. And it'll be a second dragon for Capedogs as TJ is looking to just blow up Ezreal.
Oh my gosh, Chandler, the flash is so sad. TJ flashing out to Confounder here as well. Already used the flash, already used the heal. Finally going to be giving his own shutdown over to TJ, and now Tom Kench, I was gonna say, it's not the ult coming in here onto TJ. Zongi picking up himself yet another kill on this pretty massive Kha'Zix, now sitting 4-0-3.
I was appreciative of the gold chart being up there for that fight as kills got exchanged back and forth. And we just gotta see the entire chart fluctuate, going back and forth between being a gold lead and not having a gold lead. Glacial Mingos and Capedogs still just going blow for blow here. Let's see if Capedogs Valor can find an objective for themselves and find a definitive lead here, as they have the components for it right now. Kha'Zix has got a massive lead. Trinimir's got a fairly sizable chunk of change over the Seraphine. They can continue to just keep finding the snowball, take down some towers for themselves, and find a few more objectives. They'll be in prime position to just force out Mingos into unfavorable fights before this game reaches a point where they can stack armor.
Yeah, now with this third or so point even spawning here for Capedogs, I do want to talk about how this is the first time, I believe, in this whole series, Capedogs has actually had a real gold lead over Mingos. I think there were a few times that it was just like 500 in favor of Mingos or Capedogs in the past 2 games, but now game 3 here, they have found more than 1,000 gold lead, more than I believe 2,000 at one point here as well. So it is nice to see that they're finally playing at least slightly better, if not just for a little bit more of the least at top here. Oh, okay. I think that's actually the first Q I've seen him not take the whole game.
That's a true statement. Zongi now going to be looking for the Rift Herald here, and they should be able to easily pick this one up. I mean, Mingos could try and walk in, but it's going to be dangerous here. Yeetloaf's got no cooldowns. That's a great death sentence to start it off.
Excellent hook coming out once again, but Nance just flashed on by 2 members of the Mingos, instantly being popped. Yeetloaf ulting in onto the backside and then immediately being ulted out by TJ, now forced to run away. Confounder and Zongi left to fend for themselves, unfortunately going to be rooted up, knocked down, shut down, falling over to Gabe, and Confounder forced to run away with his life.
Another flash arrow there from Gabe to get the kill. There was a split pushing Tom Kench on the bottom side, but I believe this tower in bottom lane was already super low, if not already taken. So not much gain other than maybe denying a wave here to the Mingos, and they're hungrily looking at this mid lane tower with double AD carry. It should go down quick.
Yeah, this tower, this mid lane tower, I mean, it's going to be down real fast, but you do see a pretty large wave crashing into that bot side tower of Mingos. I think that they will be able to pick that up. As for the gold lead here, Gabe, very far ahead of the rest of the Mingos. Really the only one that has any amount of gold for items that are going to be useful so far at 20 minutes in this game.
And this is the support flexing over to AD carry as well. So doing some funky stuff, but honestly putting up a great performance here on the Varus. Already got the mana min built up, now locking in the Eclipse. should fairly quickly convert on this tier, as 318 it looks like is the number, so only a few more, probably like less than a minute honestly, on converting this into a mana moon. He'll start chunking out people from range and allowing the rest of the team to follow up quickly, with either the Lee Sin or Poppy going in hard as a result.
Yeah, you have to find that engage in these team fights now. It is such an even game gold-wise, as completely even in kills. 13 to 13. You're only up 1 dragon for Capedogs. Your most fed members are a Tryndamere and Kha'Zix, and remember, their team is all AD. You start stacking armor 20 to 30 minutes in this game, especially at that 40-minute mark. If we get there again, all 5 members, in theory, of the side of Mingos should have more than enough armor to just tank anything that Kha'Zix is going to throw at them. As Demon, he has a 1v3 up here in the top side, but it doesn't even matter. Lantern is there to bring him out.
Yeah, and that was only Ninja Tabbies being available, as well as a cloth armor on that Tahm Kench, so not a whole lot, but oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Wow! He still made it a 1-for-1. Wow!
You know what? Varus, as it turns out, is also an assassin who, as it also turns out, can kill Kha'Zix in melee range as quick as Kha'Zix can kill him. So going 1-for-1 there. Well played by Gabe. Good heads on shoulders play there to quickly take down the Kha'Zix, as again, very quickly could have just been a 1-for-0 if he didn't react fast enough. And here's another engage onto the Tahm Kench though.
Yeah, Demon just about able to eat out of that one, though. Shield almost popped. I think he might actually fall there to Chandler there, just finding himself in a 1v1. Mingos looking to finish the dragon enemy. Chandler, he is not going to let this one down. He is still trying to kill Tahm Kench and is just not able to pop the frog, as maybe he's the amount of healing on him is too crazy. But Shutdown finally falls to Cloud, and Nance falls directly after. Now it's just left to Confounder and Zongi doing a lot of damage to Adam and TJ, but it doesn't even matter. They have built armor. They are so tanky. Confounder finds himself in a 1v3, not enough damage but from quite yet. 4-for-1 in favor of the Mingos.
I thought earlier I was looking at a full AD Poppy, but wisely teaching to Lanier, finally building out some armor. You saw how easily kept him alive. Even with the double enchanter as well, this armor and health becomes so much more effective, multiplicatively, that they're just gonna be able to sustain so easily through these team fights. They're just rolling through. And I will give them a little bit of criticism here to Capedogs. They started up Dragon without their jungler in a 4 versus 5. It's not the situation you'll ever put yourself in, but they started hitting it, and then were kind of forced to play around the fact that the dragon was behind him and they were going to be giving it up because they'd already made the commitment to try and take that objective.
Yeah, right. Capedogs, they started the dragon, and then they realized Cloud Dragon, I'm pretty sure this is right. Cloud Dragon does the most single damage auto of any dragon in the game, I believe, including Elder as well. It's kind of crazy how much damage Cloud Dragon can really do. So if you start it up before you're actually ready to finish it off, you're forcing your team to take a lot of damage that Mingos or any other team is not being forced to take, as this Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. I'm pretty sure that's just the timer being run out here, as Zongi could almost look for a one-shot here. He is still very fed on this cause, extending 2.5 items.
Protect Shelly. It's the current quest objective for Capedogs Valor. They want to try and get into one of these towers, but unfortunately, too much ranged damage and you'll just drop without managing to collide in anything.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, when you drop it that far back, it always shows up on the map, right? So it's so hard to actually make it hit a tower. As Claude just about able to flash out of reach there of Demon on the Tahm Kench. And Demon, again, you can't kill him anymore. He's sitting 2-2-1. He's sitting 2.5 items. I don't think you can possibly kill him anymore. Not without any serious tank shred, maybe on Gabe or I guess Adam. I don't really know who else would really build it, right? But still, it's just Demon. He's going to be the unkillable Tahm Kench that Capedogs is really going to need coming up in these next few team fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's tanky, but like at this point in the game, you're really worried about getting just poked out and the rest of your team struggling against quick engagement. But here's Teacher Lanier face checking at a wrong time. Dead.
Oh,
he's gone.
No. Shut down. 400 gold once again. Going over to you-know-who, Confounder, the man of the night, with the amount of shutdowns he's had. That gold lead right there. You see that little dip there for the Mingos? Yeah, Confounder. He's shown up here once again. Don't you don't have to put this man that far behind. Even if you do, he is still gonna have some way to find his way back in.
Trying to snipe it away there with that quick cheeky Varus arrow. Unfortunately, there's just too many members on this Baron, and that'll be furthering the gold lead for the Capedogs Valor, on top of making this Tryndamere just such a much higher threat, as his minions will simply not die unless you're responding actively to them, like Chandler is now.
Yeah, it is almost as hard to kill Yeetloaf on this Tryndamere as it is Demon on Tom Kench, right? As we did see the gold graph there once again. It's nice to see it through, just like how often you see it change, right? You wish you could see that in game. You wish you could see that in your solo queue game even. It's just, you take a guess. It feels like we're ahead. Maybe you can see items. You see 3.5 items on Confounder. He just finished that Frozen Heart too, by the way. So now it's gonna be much harder to kill him. Armor is the name of the game in this game 3.
Man, Frozen Heart on Ezreal is just disgusting. I wish it wasn't good on him. It has no right to be as good as it is. You should be building tank items on an AD carry. The cooldown reduction, the mana is just too useful on the guy, so I totally understand. Confound will be a hard to kill target, but we'll have to see what the Mingos can do to, again, get the poke down first, but then follow up with your engage.
Engage going in there by Demon. TJ immediately popped Claude, gonna be falling right after. Gonna go golden for just a few more seconds, but it doesn't even matter. Chandler follows to Adam, last member alive of the Mingos. He's trying to live as long as he can under the tower, but it is not going to be long enough. Gabe also under the next tower. Flash prediction hook from Nuts. Too clean for a 5-0 for the Capedogs.
What a nutter underneath the tower. One member remaining, predicts the flash perfectly with that hook. That was an insane play coming out from Nonce. And I'm assuming that this spectator bug pausing us out does mean that Capedogs Valor have indeed taken the game here. I don't think there's a way Mingos are coming back from that one.
No, that was the one team fight that Capedogs needed. You know that if they get one lead, they know how to play off of it. Confounder, he kept finding these leads. Game 1, down 10k gold. He found like 2,000 gold in the span of 30 seconds for himself. I believe if that game went just a few more minutes, if they won, one team fight could have definitely gone in Capedogs' favor. Very same story for game 2, right? Game 2, 40-minute banger. That's just what happens. It comes down to one team fight at the very end. It's very stressful for both teams. Very stressful for everyone watching as well. And in game 3, I mean, Capedogs finally finding a win here. Not going 3-0. Very similar story to another team that I know in this league.
I mean, yeah, they'll be happy about at least getting one win in here. Like we mentioned in pre-show, 3-0 means you drop to a 8th place or lower, depending on how the rest of these games end up going.
Bad.
So it could have been bad, but they managed to find their win here. A well-played match, and honestly, I'm most impressed here by Nonce, who managed to come online so incredibly hard here on this Thresh. I mean, not just that flashy hook at the very end. I promise it's not recency bias. It was really good hooks throughout the early game, even getting himself in bot lane a few kills onto the Senna Varus bottom lane from Mingos.
Yeah, and we will be looking to some of our other games currently happening in mid-league. CP Rush currently 2-0 versus Unlucky. Divine Ascension of Emerald actually won against GCG Legion. GCG being one of the 4 or 5 teams currently being tied for 6. Unlucky, the same story. I believe Bucky's versus Degens is also sitting 1-1. Degens being another one of the teams currently sitting in the massive tie. So a lot of tiebreakers are being played out in current game 3s happening right now. Very exciting happening tonight here in mid league.
Yeah, I'd say keep an eye on standings throughout all of it. We had an incredible series here, but another big part of the excitement here in mid league was that giant tie, and it's really just a question of who's going to manage to come out on top and who will fall so quickly through the rankings, the very bottom of them, as a result of so many teams just being so close in contention here. I mean, I think it'll lead to a very exciting playoffs. But right here, it's all about bragging rights and who will manage to find high placings here in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and with that, we will be going to a short break here. I'm not too sure if we have an interview or not. That is to be decided, but we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hopefully an interview for you very soon.